written in the voice of conviction, possessing that same conviction, truth, and remembrance, while reflecting on themes of choice, sacrifice, slavery, past and present, leadership, and what we need so much more is unity. I would like to say, my brothers and sisters, but I know that is not true. So what I will say is, we don't know the power of choice. We don't see the chains of our mind, the ones that were put there so long ago and now seem almost like part of Black DNA. So today I stand before you, sit down in this chair, something I wouldn't have been able to do hundreds of years ago, to remind you of our history, but also to awaken the conscious to the truth of what it means to be able to have a choice in this day and in the past. You see, we walk and talk about freedom as though it was a birthright easily granted, but freedom, true freedom, was paid in blood, bone, and broken bodies. The right to vote, to our own property, to raise our voices, to govern. These were not gifts handed to us. See, it was always supposed to be them governing us. But the ability to be able to govern ourselves, we do not appreciate it. You see, our ancestors, black, white, red, yellow, were not all on the same side of history, but they were all shaped by it. Some fought against the chains and some forged them. Yet, here we are in this present moment, enjoying choices that came at the cost of unimaginable suffering. And too many of us treat those choices as disposable. We act as though the ballot is a burden instead of a blessing. We treat property like paper instead of power. We behave as though the struggle was just a story, not the soil that grew the very opportunities we now neglect. Dr. Claude Anderson once said that we, as a people, paraphrasing, have suffered, but somehow we have not yet suffered enough to break the habits that keep us bound. We remain trapped, not by chains of iron, but by chains of the mind, and we can't even see it. We live in an age where we refuse consumption with progress, where too many of us chase symbols of success instead of substance, of self-determination. We cry out for equality but refuse unity. We demand justice but fear discipline. We inherit freedom yet remain enslaved to selfishness. We have brothers against brothers, sisters tearing down sisters, jealousy eating away at our roots of our progress like rot beneath a proud tree. The same hands that once built our communities now too often destroy them. Out of envy, bitterness, or the illusion that survival means standing alone, we forget that no one rises truly alone. Before you became a basketball star, who supported you at 6, 7, 10, 12? Who came to your games? Nobody, you act like nobody helped you get along. You couldn't even change your own Pampers. But now that you are rich, now that you are a billionaire, you don't need the very people who gave you the opportunity to be where you are. We forget those who led before us. Harriet, Frederick, Sojourner, Malcolm, Martin, Fannie Lou. They did not struggle for themselves. They struggled for us. But what do we struggle for now? Too many of us fight for likes, for clout, for crumbs of validation from systems that still see us less than. We buy what we cannot afford. We imitate what we do not respect. And we believe that the media tells us about who we are, even when the media has never known our truth. Our textbooks erase us, our screens distort us, and sometimes our own voices betray us. We have been programmed to forget our genius, to forget our power, to forget that every right we enjoy came through the suffering of those who refused to let this nation erase their humanity. Chattel slavery may be gone, but the slavery of the mind is alive and well. And it's in the apathy that keeps us from the voting booth. It's in the silence that keeps us from demanding accountability. It's in the comfort that keeps us from confronting corruption while we lay there with the clicker looking at the next football or basketball game and not worrying about politics. We say we are free, but how can we be free when we are led around by false leaders who sell hope for headlines and profit from our pain? Too many of our representatives don't represent us. They represent their donors, their careers, their ambitions, their bank account. They've forgotten that leadership is not about position. It is about purpose. And this is where I'm going to bring up Jasmine Crockett. Every time I hear her, she says she does not work for them. She works for us. And we have the nerve sometimes to sit down there as a black man to talk about her in any negative way. Well, there's another black man that's going to confront you on that. To choose leaders who see our humanity, not our votes. We must remember freedom is just not the right to choose. It is the responsibility to choose wisely. Choose unity over division, courage over comfort. To care about one another, even when it's hard. Because the moment we stop caring, the moment we stop participating, the moment we stop believing that our voice matters, that's the moment we hand our freedom back to those who never wanted us to have it in the first place. Our ancestors endured mutilation, torture, lynching, and humiliation so we could stand here today, not as slaves, but as citizens of a land still learning what liberty means. But liberty means nothing without responsibility, and progress means nothing without purpose. If we truly want change, we cannot just talk about freedom, we must live it. We cannot just demand respect, we must embody it. We cannot just expect leadership, we must become it. So I ask you, what will you do with the choices our ancestors died for? Will we waste them or will we honor them? Will we divide ourselves or will we unite to build a community that has been dreamt of since the dawn of time? It is time, past time, to break the chains of mental slavery, to stop letting jealousy and ignorance dictate our destiny, to rise again, not as individuals chasing comfort, but as a people pursuing collective power. Because if we do not govern ourselves, we will continue to be governed by those who profit from our confusion. If we do not write our own history, others will write it for us. And if we do not choose to stand, truly stand, then all of us who bled for our choices will have done it so in vain. Freedom is not finished. The struggle is not over. The promise of America of unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness still has not yet been paid to us. But we can collect on that promise if we remember who we are, where we came from, and what we must do.